Let's turn to Attorney Gene Rossi. He's a former assistant U.S. attorney and federal prosecutor. Gene, let me begin with the New York prosecutor convening a grand jury to look into the Trump organization. Does that mean that Cyrus Vance is fairly confident that he has a strong case against Donald Trump and his inner circle?
I think it points towards charges being brought, but I want to caution people, it doesn't automatically mean they're going to present charges, but it's definitely not a good sign for Donald Trump and the Trump organization, and also for Allen Weisselberg and the Trump family. A grand jury really does several things. One, they seek evidence through subpoenas, bank records, and things like that. The other is you present witnesses to the grand jury, and you either lock them in or you try to find out what they're going to say, because when people are put under oath in front of a grand jury of 16 to 23 people usually, they change their tune versus when they're not under oath and they're talking to law enforcement. It's sort of a transformation. So the grand jury could be used for those purposes. And then the fourth reason is this: they may be presenting charges, but I wouldn't say it's guaranteed, but it's not a good sign.
But why would we learn about this 2 years later? I mean, wouldn't we have already learned of some charges in the 2 years that Cyrus Vance has been investigating the Trump organization? And, Gene, another question for you. What are the chances they could subpoena Donald Trump or members of his family?
There's a very good chance they could subpoena Donald Trump or members of his family, because they would have to claim the Fifth Amendment if they ever went in front of the grand jury, but they could subpoena Donald Trump and his family. President Bill Clinton was subpoenaed by the Ken Starr grand jury, which I thought was a little over the top, but they could. But bear in mind that the grand jury may have been meeting for the last 1 or 2 years, and this is either a continuation of the grand jury or they reconvened a new grand jury. They may have been doing yeoman's work the last year or two, getting documents and presenting witnesses, but we don't know that because the grand jury is secret.
So what is the timing of all this? Is it days? Is it weeks, months before we know anything?
It could be it could be months. I doubt we're going to have charges brought in 2 or 3 years. I think they're going to cross the Rubicon on charges by the end of the year. That's my prediction. That's my feeling, given all my years for the Department of Justice and doing fraud cases.
Gene, Trump has repeatedly called various investigations a continuation of the greatest witch hunt in American history, and I'm quoting here. Nothing has stuck with him so far. I mean, he's walking around a free man, no charges, no indictment. I'm just curious if you think this time with the Cyrus Vance investigation, things could be different.
Things could be different. And Exhibit 1, Exhibit A, is the famous mobster Al Capone. For many years, charges and investigations did not stick, and they figuratively and literally died. He was eventually convicted of federal tax charges, the famous agent Elliot Ness leading the charge, and he served 8 years in federal prison. So he's Teflon Donald Trump for now, but I think these charges may be a little different.
All right, we'll leave it there. Gene Rossi, thank you very much.